Is the 2025 crypto market mirroring the 2017 crypto market, or is it mirroring the 2021 crypto cycle? There's been a lot of debate as to which one it's going. More people believe it's following the 2017 cycle than the 2021. And I'm falling somewhere in between on these. I do see the similarities between 2017 and the current cycle, but let's take a look at some of the info here and see what exactly is the most likely scenario here. So Raoul Paul talks about, here we go. Here's Raoul Paul. He's talking about it mirroring the 2017, and he's looking at it from a macroeconomic point of view. Some of the data he's looked at potentially pushed it back to the cycle back into 2026 from 2025 here. And that could be true. Not 100% sure which way it's going here, but he's talking about the how much money is in his system, right? The M2 global money supply and what's going on there. The global economy is in a broader cycle, still below 50, and it generally takes a little while to climb. But if you look at, let's take a look at the Ethereum chart. And let's go back to 2017. I'm just going to use Ethereum here. Is it really started to climb, drop toward August, early September's usually been a bad one, but then around mid-September, in October, it took off. And that time frame can really make sense here to when it really took off. And then it collapsed here in early 2018. But it did peak at the end of December here, and the altcoins had a blow off the top. Bitcoin followed it exactly the same here. And then if you go into 2021, let's follow this again. September, it started to climb in September. Here you'll see on September 20th, and you get to October 20th, it really had a double, it almost doubled. And then it really went parabolic here into 2021, cratered down slightly, came back up, came back down, and peaked right here in October. That's when Bitcoin hit its high as well in October 2021. Then it went down and we had a dead cat bounce. And then, of course, it really came down. And we've been working our way, chopping back and forth ever since here. 24, we had a nice bump up here. Then 25's really chopped back down. And now we're getting back into where this is Ethereum, right? A lot of these other cryptos did not go up like this, but Ethereum finally started to move, check back a little, which is telling me we're probably about ready to take off again. This is September 8th right now. We're probably about set to take off in this market somewhere here around the same time we did in 2017 and just before we did in 2021 cycle when it really took off. And that's where I'm expecting the big movement. Again, these movements don't last long. And so I'm telling you, people remind you that when it feels euphoric and it feels like it's going to keep going up, it's not. It's going to hit its peak and you've got to cash out. And you've really got a 3 to 6 week window of when these cryptos go. And they don't all go together, right? A lot of them do, but some lag and then go later. So money just shifts from one thing to another. Right now, a lot of the money shifted out of Bitcoin and into Ethereum. What happens? Ethereum makes its all-time high, checks back, it'll go up and make a new all-time high, and then it'll go into the other altcoins. A lot of altcoins are going to move up with it here, but this is generally how it goes here. You look at Bitcoin, again, same type of thing here. Let's go all-time. Bitcoin here, we get to the 2021, it's followed the same thing here pretty much that it did. And if you go to 2017, go to September, and that's when it really started to take off. We actually got as high as 20,000 back then. I'm not sure why the chart's not showing us that, but it got up to 20,000 and then cratered. And then in 2021, of course, got to its high and then checked back. And then in October, it set its high in late September, early October, and then really cranked back. And now, of course, Bitcoin is setting all-time new highs, and it has a lot of institutional money in there. And I think that's what a lot of what's going on here now with this. I think that's where we are in this cycle. I think it's very similar to what we had in 2017 and 2021. However, I think this thing's going to fall in the middle. It's going to fall between the two. So it's going to be similar. It's going to rhyme. It's going to repeat the same way in that the market's really going to go up. You have a 3 to 6 week window to cash out If you do that, you're one of the 5% of people that are cashing out and actually making money in crypto. Don't be the other 95% who sit there and hold their bags and wait for the next cycle for the other 4 years, like we've done here. Most of us have done. So that's where I am now. Remember, we're getting close. We should be about a week or two away from, I think, pretty good movement to the upside here. October should be very good. We'll have a check back again, and then we'll probably finish in December. Maybe January, even February, it could bleed into next year, as late as March, potentially, depending on how things go macro in the macro world here. So we'll see how things unfold, but I feel we're about to get movement. The altcoins are starting to chatter, wake up again here. Bitcoin has started to move back up. Ethereum is going to be moving back up and making its new all-time high. And then you're going to see the altcoins really take off, and then you're going to have to hopefully time it right and get out of these, take your profits. Don't be too greedy, get what you can, get out, and be happy you made your profits. All right, guys, we'll catch you later.